It's Madden NFL 24. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Dallas Cowboys. All that and more coming up next.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, here in Dallas, winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. With this team this year, they have even extra pressure on their shoulders in what might very well be the toughest division in football.
And that extra pressure will go on the offensive side of the ball. They'll need consistent play from the quarterback position because they are very explosive. And on the defensive side, they want to continue to take the ball away and make themselves contenders in the NFC East.
Well, meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the rebuild under Doug Peterson is right on track. And listen, nobody's going to get wildly excited about 9-8, which they were last year. I get that. But when that comes on the heels of 3-14 and 1-15, certainly a step in the right direction.
And the biggest stride they can make this year is on defense. 28th against the pass last year, and just moving into the middle of the pack. That could buy them a couple more wins and put them in a great spot come playoff time. When we spent our time talking to the coaches prior to the game, they emphasized that they wanted a quick start to begin things. Most of the time you think about that on the offensive side of the ball, but in this case, it's the special teams that provide that quick start.
And Dak going to start out going to the air. And his throw here is incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Here's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards there, a first down.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Off the play fake, Prescott going for it all. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
On play action, Prescott. This is caught. It's Cooks. Touchdown! Brandon Cooks, 28 yards. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Extra point attempt to come here. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Well, the Jaguars ready to go on offense for the first time, and they're led by the former #1 pick of the draft in his 3rd season now, Charles, Trevor Lawrence.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Drop for a loss there on a nice effort by Osa Odighizuwa.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact,
the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. Taken right around the 44. Powers through. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Play action now. Prescott. And that's complete downfield to Cooks. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
2nd and 10. Prescott off play action. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Brandon Cooks with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Now for the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Now Lawrence. He'll get this off to Etienne. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Lawrence. Flushed out right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He didn't scramble for him first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Well, the goal is to get back into this game. The offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. Gets around him. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have an excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. 1st down, Prescott. Crossing route complete. Catch made by Cooks. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the 1st quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Point after try forthcoming. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. 21-0, our score after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it as we resume action. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the 1st half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
They go with the empty set there, 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, They've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Lawrence to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly, got a great break on the ball, and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Lawrence to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
So roughing the passer, and they get the safety there.
And this is one I think where the safety's usually got to come a long way. So sometimes it's tough for him to slow down that momentum. That's going to draw the flag more times than not.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Micah Parsons. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Now this is going to be a quarterback draw.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
A man coming off an 1,100-yard campaign last year. Here's Travis Etienne.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the 2nd quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you always want to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. There again is Cooks, complete. He's across midfield, and he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Prescott. He gets it to Cooks. And they're going to have a 1st down, and they're in field goal range as well as they're down inside the 20.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, They might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Prescott on first down. Touchdown! Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Let's go.
So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys were treated to a fine first half from number 4, quarterback Dak Prescott. He was nothing short of amazing, throwing 4 touchdown passes to help push his guys out to a sizable halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And this one too low.
You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. Now that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And, I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your own.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He'll take it at the 42. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. Last drive, the touchdown, 4 catches. Really good. He was. They were not good on the other side trying to stop him. What do they need to do?
Well, this is where the entire staff has to get involved because we always focus on the defensive coordinator. But he needs help from other people with their eyes and their expertise, and he needs to listen to them. And sometimes you just can't afford to wait on a drop.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Brandon Cooks, 43 yards. And the Cowboys open the lead up to 34-0.
Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Lawrence will throw.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And that's taken at his own 42. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's Prescott. And that's complete to Cooks. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Prescott now. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Brandon Cooks, a 14-yard touchdown.
And the Cowboys have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
The try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return it.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
Second and 5.
At the 21-yard line.
Here's Lawrence. Looking for the out route here, and it's completed to Kirk. And Kirk is going to have the Jaguars first down as the tackle made up at the 27.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
On first down, Lawrence. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lawrence. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now...
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
Micah Parsons
getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to excel.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Brandon Cooks, 47 yards.
And the Cowboys add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, You can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jaguars nothing.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack.
Lawrence. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here we go. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Damone Clark fought his way through and buried him behind the line.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
And just a 30-yard punt that time.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Brandon Cooks, 35 yards.
And the Cowboys just continue to roll.
Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. To return, here's Agnew.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Jaguars back with it on offense. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board. We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Micah Parsons in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
On third down, here's Etienne. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking on the midfield logo. Nifty move. A great return there of 22 yards. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few up,
and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the 4th quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On 2nd down, Lawrence.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. He'll complete this to Ingram, his tight end. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Jaguars.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Marquise Bell able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
On 2nd down, here's Lawrence.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.